Corrupts from Space Part 5. Chronicles from Dirty World. Any similarity to reality is purely coincidental. Call, what kind of death ray flashlight did you use against the attackers? Asked Althea Reagan. Call let out a smile as he brushed the dust off his shoulders. That? It's my little power laser projector, simulated as one of my muscles. I never leave home without it. RHYNA rolled her eyes, and her slight smile betrayed complicity. Come on, Althea, hurry up, said RHYNA, what's going on here? Why are you involved in all this? Why are you a Martian agent? Althea, somewhat blushing, ignored the question and focused on her main interest. Listen, what I'm about to tell you cannot leave this room. The situation is much more serious than you imagine. The autocracies of Earth and Ganymede have been manipulating historical information, propaganda, and daily news. The truth dies every day. And the terrorist attacks here and in series are just the tip of the iceberg. I looked at RHYNA, and I saw my own determination reflected in her eyes. This was no more than we had thought. The truth was our only hope of reversing the chaos. And we couldn't care less, I replied. Althea ignored me and continued explaining the conspiracy that extended from the uprising and the war of independence of Mars and the near worlds. The corporations and most of the governments of Earth, he continued, are carrying out plans to undermine the free worlds. Starting against the foundations on which the values of democracies are based. The autocracies of Earth, its moon, Ganymede, and the near worlds will stop at nothing to overthrow the democracies of the free worlds. We need to reach the scientist that Zephyr mentioned. I told him, he would have important information related to the course of events in this dystopia. RHYNA gently asked Althea where we could find that scientist, someone named Schrödinger, before it was too late. Schrödinger. Althea exclaimed in surprise. He's a physicist, not an archaeologist. He is working in a laboratory on the outskirts of the city. It's a difficult place to access, but I have some options open, he said without clarifying in the slightest. We walked quickly, almost running in the light Martian gravity, as we followed Althea through the underground labyrinths of Mars. The air was dusty from the broken filters due to the explosion, and the echo of our footsteps resonated against the walls of printed regolith. RHYNA, seriously, this is getting ugly, I told RHYNA, we need to find Schrödinger before things go south. Finally, we arrived at an old lock that Althea opened with a code that seemed straight out of a Cold War spy movie. Even in that, they were retro. On the other side, a well-maintained retrofuturistic laboratory, filled with large devices, cathode ray tube screens, and a gigantic computer buzzing with constantly changing little lights. Enormous reels of magnetic tape spun and unwound in a data processor, far too slowly. Hello, said Schrödinger with a huge smile of surprise. Nooknage, who are you and what are you doing here? Dr. Schrödinger, said Althea, these are RHYNA and Kuhnel. They have come from Earth seeking answers. We don't have much time, we need your help. Schrödinger looked at me with that perceptive gaze that only someone with a high level of intelligence could have. He didn't seem surprised, but something in his eyes told me he already had his doubts. I understand, said Schrödinger. The situation is more complex than it seems. True. True. You two are not ordinary Earthlings. We looked at Call, knowing that our story had to be convincing, maybe. Look, Schrödinger, we're here because we believe you can help us stop this madness. We have discovered that the entire web of conspiracies dates back to a failed experiment on Earth, in the 21st century, or the 20th. That's right, said Call, and we need your knowledge of the original scientific history to understand how to reverse the damage. Schrödinger's eyes narrowed as he absorbed every word. It seems they are not mere common travelers, said Schrödinger with an attitude that for a moment reminded RHYNA of mental. I can help, continued Schrödinger, but we need to be cautious. The Ultra fans are not far away, and we know they are watching us. Suddenly, a siren began to sound and the lights flickered. And Althea said, they found us. We have to move. Now. We can't lose this data. We need something to defend ourselves. Call wasted no time and unleashed a series of commands to the bots of his integrated devices, intervening in the laboratory door systems, which sealed shut and activated the automatic defenses. RHYNA, download all the information. And let's cover Althea and Schrödinger. I worked quickly, knowing that every second counted. With renewed determination, Schrödinger positioned himself next to Althea, configuring other laboratory security devices. The thunder of gunfire and explosions echoed outside the laboratory. The adrenaline and fear were mingling, but the determination to complete our mission was absolute. Finally, the data download was complete, and we knew we couldn't stay even a second longer, so we prepared to face the chaos as we left the lab. "It's almost a terabit of data. It can't be done that quickly," said Schrödinger, and fell silent, observing Althea's look of astonishment. "Ready, we have what we need. Let's go," said Kuhnel. We ran in the low Martian gravity through the darkened and perilous corridors. With Althea and Schrödinger guiding us, we managed to dodge the Ganymede fans and reached a safe exit. "The party is just beginning," said Call. "We are in a race against time and we need every possible advantage." "Don't worry," Schrödinger interjected, "I'll help you understand the data and find a solution. But we must be prepared for the worst." The race for truth and freedom was just beginning, and although the dangers were great, so was our resolve.